Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Body Awakening Show. My name is Dipal Shah, and I hope you guys could join me. Please do say hello if you can hear me and see me. I'm just going to look really quick and make sure that we are on live. Let's see. All right. Here we go. Awesome. All right, so you guys could post your comments, post anything you want here, your questions. And I see some people are joining us, so do say hello and tell us where you're from. And again, like I said, hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving. I sure did, with all these family members just coming here to visit us and spend time with us during the holidays. It's always a blessing. So I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. So again, say hello if you're here. I'd love to hear from you. And let me know if you could see us. So let's see. Every week I try to do a show here on my business page. So make sure you like and follow, because that way you get an update as to when I go live. Okay. And I always have these wonderful special guests who have such great information and knowledge that can help us all expand in our awareness and self-realization. And today's guest is Peter Shank, and we will get him to, to hop on in just a little bit. And for those of you who are new to me and my work, my name is Dipal Shah, and I help people all around the world raise their vibration and eliminate mental, physical, and spiritual pain. With listeners all over the world, I'm here on Facebook Live once a week, talking about how your body can heal. I want you to be in control of your body. I want you to recognize what messages your body has for you through symptoms that are showing up. It's time to discover how energy healing can help you get to the root causes of your symptoms and give you the power to heal your own diseases, discomforts, and pains. I want to remind you a couple of things that are coming up. Tomorrow is December 5th, and at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, I will be on From Heartache to Joy Telesummit. So be sure to join this wonderful telesummit. It is free to listen. You can even call in and get readings. The link I will make sure to put in the comments section today. So we're going to be talking about stress and heavy energies that are affecting people. And I will be sharing my new bracelet on how on the show. And so be sure to tune in. Those of you who are interested in learning to become a medical intuitive, that program is also available at anandaforlife.com. And it is half price right now. So take a look at it. I know many of you had reached out to me about the mentorship program. So take a look at that. Let's see. I have some great news that I had announced just about 2 or 3 days ago in the private group. And if you were not there, I want to let you know what that surprise and great news was. I now have 4 new wonderful healers that are going to be doing healing through anandaforlife.com. And they have joined us, and they have these amazing healing abilities and specialty. And so if you would like a session with them, please do visit anandaforlife.com and just look at Deeple Recommends. Okay. You'll find all 4 of the healers there. Okay. So let's see who's commented. I hope you're all able to join us. Please do share this out. So I see Jen is here. Hello, Jen. Love you both, she says. Christy Warnick is here. Hello, Christy. Love Christy. So I would, appreciate it if you guys can please invite others to watch us today, because I'm so excited to have my friend Peter Shank here with us today to talk about being unlimited. How can we be these beings of limitlessness? And I love this topic And so let me tell you a little bit about Peter. He is the founder of Modern Day Mystic, a spiritual visionary who left a successful career as a computer programmer for one of the world's largest banks to fulfill his mission to heal the world. Based on research at the forefront of quantum physics, Peter devised a way to use technology to bridge the gap between science and consciousness. The modern day mystic was created. Initial versions of the software were immediately successful among users, so Peter fueled his energy into additional research and development that would lead to a more targeted, powerful system. Today, modern day Mystic software helps thousands of users remove frequency patterns that have been standing in the way of achieving optimum health, happiness, and financial freedom. So I want to welcome Peter Shank to our show. So welcome, Peter.
Thank you. That's quite an intro. I always love them. They give me chills, get me fired up, ready to rock it. So in typical fashion, I'd like to do a water blessing right out of the gate. This kind of helps promote a feeling of goodwill for all the knowledge that's about to be shared. So all you folks need is just a glass of water. As I evolve, I always find better ways to do things. And today we're going to be doing a beta testing of a new water blessing. Typically, I'd have you hold your left hand over 3 inches. Today, we're going to do it in reverse. You're going to hold your right hand over the glass of water about 3 inches, spread your fingers. Put your attention on the water. In a few seconds, you'll start to feel the energy from the water move up through your hand. Okay, that can come as a straight up bolt of lightning. It can feel like heat, pin pricklies, and anything in between. Once you start to feel it, put your attention on the water. Energy in physical form or non-physical form will do absolutely anything for you as long as you acknowledge its existence. And the highest form of acknowledgement that you can give that energy that's in physical form and non-physical form is repeating 8 magical words out loud. With your attention on the water, just simply say, I honor the space in which you exist. And instantly that energy from the water will increase through your hand. Go ahead and drink as much as you want. Notice the taste and the texture and exactly where it's moving in the body energetically. That's a good one. Okay.
Out on my water. I usually have water, and I didn't have my water.
Well, the cool thing is you go back and watch the recording.
But that's exactly what I'm going to do. But I went ahead and did it in I usually keep a jug of water, and I set the intention to infuse it there. That'll work too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Awesome. So, Peter, it's such an honor to have you. And thank you so much for that beautiful activation of our water. I think it's so important to activate our water and bless our water. And, before we drink it, there's a process that water goes through, right? Trying to come out of the faucet or a filtration system, right? And it takes on so much energy as it comes through, whether you have well water or city water, whatever it is, like it brings along with it so many processes and toxins. And so this is a wonderful thing to do. And so I'm so glad. I don't know if anyone else has the software that you do or, anything like this.
So oddly enough, I just did a Facebook post on the 6th generation of the software, imminently coming in probably the first quarter next year. This is the largest upgrade that I have done since Aquaware's initial release back on July 4th, 2007. So everything that we love about the software, from Aquaware, the source, to Smoke Erase, to Light Body, to Navitus, to the 12th project, is all going to be entering into its 6th generation. This is the largest update I have ever done. And we are completely moving away from the model that I've had for the last 12 or 15 years, which is you download it on a PC and then you get upgrades over time. That's all gone. Everything, I have put all of my creativity into putting this online. Okay, it's called SaaS, software as a service. All of the software that you love is all coming in a new form. It's going to be infinitely more powerful. And over time, we're going to add much more features. You will be able to use it on any device, anywhere, anytime, as simply as if you just have a web browser. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to a subscription model. There'll be no more, one-time payment and then 50% for upgrades. That's all gone. You pay by the month. It's going to be completely affordable, and it's going to be mind-blowing.
That's awesome. I know we skipped so many steps ahead, but I was so excited about the water because I do infuse my water all the time. And I tell my own clients, infuse it with the energies. And not every time do people remember, or, you're so thirsty sometimes you're like, you just drink that water. But it's so important to do that. But I do want to talk about, I'm going to go back because so many people out there feel like they're confined and they're limited. And I know that our topic today is being an unlimited being, but there are so many beliefs there where we set our own limitations. Sure. Like even when you go work out, you think you can't, but you can. Just simple things like that, right? Or when you're trying something new for the first time, like for me, when I went sledding, I was like, there's no way I could do this. But I feel like it's also in our mind. And, I was limiting myself, which really sucks because I'm missing out on so much that the world has to offer by limiting myself. And so it's we have to wake up those experiences and wake up our minds. And I want to know, can you tell us how you had your wake up call? Like, when did this happen for you?
So prior to my wake up experience, it's a time that I don't remember, and I wasn't proud of it. But I will share with you that I was very self-absorbed. I had no love. I had zero humility, unconditional love of self. The whole new age love and light crowd, forget it. I didn't exist. And my purpose was to make more money and become more empty on the inside. Well, that's it. One day, in August, in the early 2000s, I had my wake up experience. I had no idea the world existed the way that it truly does today. 1 minute, that, and at the microsecond later, at the speed of thought, everything that I held dear completely changed. And obviously there are no human words to describe the experience that I went through. And I do use a reference that if you can see the whole world, your entire world, your whole life in black and white, 1 second, in the next second, everything is in high def color. That's how radical my shift was. And some people take a lifetime to wake up. Some people, study metaphysics and spirituality for decades to get where they are. Some people, it happens, over time. Some people are born awake. I had no clue. I had no teachers. I had nothing. I made every mistake in the book, and I still make a lot of mistakes. But we're not going to talk about those. But I was bestowed with what we call the gift of sight. In an instant, I saw energy in everything, and I still do today. And over a 6-week period, I had thought I had literally gone insane. It was the best acid trip you can ever imagine. You couldn't turn it off. But what I learned was that had I gone insane, I loved being the new me. Because it was like, an infant sees the world as magic up until 8 or 10 months, and then conditioning starts, right? But we were birthed to live outside our comfort zones in a world that is just complete magic, where anything is absolutely possible. And all you have to do is set your intention. Where you put your intention, the intention is set. So, my ego just ballooned over a year, like that first year. And then, the masters that I work with in physical form and not physical form decided to pop that ego, and that is real. The real learning began. So we talk about being unlimited, and I have always said that if you have the ability to unlimit your thinking, you can thereby unlimit your potential. And it all starts just outside your comfort zone. So as humans, we build this box. Our consciousness is in this box, and if we get stressed out, what do? We build the walls a little thicker and a little higher. But for 1 second, if you just have that foresight to just step outside and believe in something else, you're in the stream, man. You are in the magic. And that is when you truly have to unlearn everything you have ever learned for the real learning to begin. And that, my friend, is only done in the experience. Being an unlimited being means that everything is possible. Okay. Long ago, the great ascended master Saint Germain taught me to see the invisible and do the impossible. And today I have worked a really long time, countless hours, to have mastery over my craft. And there is no end game. My mission is not over by a long shot. And that is very, very simply to spread more love and light in the world by any and all means possible. And, so when I first started, we created software that modifies the structure of water based on intention. It was a mind-blowing concept, light years ahead of anything out there. The concept was light years ahead. You fast forward a couple decades, whatever, we're entering into a 6th generation of a proven technology that has helped people become unlimited, help them to think outside the box where the magic happens. And then there's a plethora of workshops and all kinds of physical products and, shows and everything in between. But at its core, becoming unlimited is a choice. Everything is a choice. Having the ability to just step outside for 1 minute. So, people ask me continuously, well, how'd you get where you're at? How are you doing that? And it's all about not only hearing, but listening. Okay. The universe works in beautiful and mysterious ways. And I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on all kinds of mind-blowing things that are going on, but it works in mysterious ways. And it all starts with an act of kindness. Okay. You smile at the person next to you. You get involved in something. Okay. And what happens is the universe, so you're already raising vibration. You don't even know it. And the universe is going to turn around and say, whoa, and it's going to deliver a piece of information to you, something. And what you do, how you act, how you push forward on that information determines if you move to a higher octave. Okay. And that information can come in anything, because ultimately your goal is to vibrate higher. We just forgot how. All I'm doing is remembering. I've done this plenty of times. I'm just remembering how to do it. And when you remember, you spread that vibration. Okay. So if you act on that information, you're given more responsibility in the form of something. And it's this snowball effect. You start off as a snowflake and boom, before you know it, you're rolling and you're getting all this stuff. That's how this game is played. And believe me, it took me a long, long time to kind of figure it out.
I love it because, as you're speaking, I'm thinking about my own awakening as well. And, you said, yeah, you didn't learn any modalities. You didn't do any of that. Whereas I did. And it's okay. Whatever route you go to reach your opening, your gateway, because here's the thing. For me, I came from just like you did. I mean, yeah, I came from a very black and white analytical background. I used to sell pharmaceutical drugs for 10, 12 years. And so I was very science-based, and I had no idea that there was even energy out there, even though I studied physics. But I saw it as a physical thing and black and white. I didn't see it for some reason. I missed that quantum part. And so when I quit my job And I started learning about crystals and how they have healing energies. And I was like, oh, well, that's new. And then I went on to learn Reiki because I was like, oh, well, this seems really cool. What else? What else? What else? And I kept asking myself, what else? And that's where I find my unlimited, my limitlessness. And so that's what opened, me up to this whole new realm and dimension. And the more I tell myself, even now, that I don't have boundaries, and the more I see myself growing, and I think everybody out there, once they make that decision and once they make that choice, that will open up for them as well, right?
It's always the choice. You talked about the gym before, so I have a funny story for you. So, I always apply things that I learn in my everyday, well, most of the time in my everyday life. And, I was kind of sliding into 45 a few years back, and I was like, I got to do something. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. Now, for 3 years, I actually went to the gym 5 days a week. Okay. Snow, shine, rain, sleet, whatever, I went to the gym. Sometimes I'd walk in, I'd go tanning, then I'd walk out. Sometimes I'd walk in, I'd watch a movie, and I'd walk out. Sometimes I'd walk in and actually work out for 5 minutes and I walk out. And then ultimately, sometimes I just walked in and just walked out. I couldn't get it to click. I just couldn't do it. So then I found a place that I called home, which smelled like a Foot Locker, looked like Rocky's gym, but it got me motivated to actually do it. And the paradigm in this is that, okay, something in my life just wasn't working the way I wanted to. So what do? You think about the perfect situation and how, you forget about how you're going to get there. So it was the gym. This is what I wanted. And a month later, I was at a gym and they were motivating me and it all worked out. And that's exactly how manifestation works. People get consumed with conditioning constantly. What's different? Like if you walk into a restaurant, right? There's TVs, they're everywhere. You're constantly being bombarded with frequency to keep you dumb, to keep you in a box, to keep you unspiritual, to keep your God being shut down because it doesn't want to be out, but you want it to expire. And you talk about being unlimited. Being unlimited, part of that is having the ability to manifest things in your life that you want. And manifesting is as easy as breathing, as long as you know what you want. And you just put that thought form in your head, and you put it. The universe comes by, picks it up, brings it upstream in your reality, and starts creating these energetic pathways that make sense for your reality, and then it's brought in. But we live in the fast food era where we want instant gratification. Well, it doesn't work like that. And what happens with that is you have doubt and worry, and that thought form is destroyed. But being unlimited is opening yourself up to the creativity and wisdom of a divine creation that will just bring you to your knees and make you like, wow, and just bend in awe. And there's nothing like that. And when you are given that information from the universe and you utilize it to help somebody in need, it's a rush second to nothing that you have ever experienced. So, we talk about unlimited. I've had a lot of products, and I'm not going to get into this, but this is the latest creation from the MDM team. Okay. And it's called the HFA Sirius, and it is the sister product to Orion. But what you're looking at is a piece of technology that will help unlimited your being. It will dare you to be better tomorrow than you are today. I unlimited myself, and what do you think came through? The plans for this. Okay. It mind-blowing. You feel the energy. I already know you do.
I love it.
So, if you look over the history of MDM, we have software, the stuff that science fiction books are written about, right? Then we have workshops that utilize, ancient symbology, water, and then we move into oh, this is a good one. So personal sessions, right? So I've done energetic sessions for a very long time. And when you do energetic sessions, you have to be obviously careful and cautious about what you're doing because you're manipulating someone's reality in your energetic field. But again, because I spread more love and light in the world in that specific genre or that pillar of the business, I was given the information to tap into people's cores. And the core is the soul. It's the center of their consciousness. And with that type of knowledge comes great discernment and respect for things that I have achieved. And then, of course, 3.5 years ago, the ideas for physical products, they don't stop. And we just keep creating and pushing. And that's what it's all about. When you have the capacity to spread more love and light in the world, you are given a responsibility. You, therefore, by the act of nature, are an unlimited being at its core.
Yeah, I love that. I think people are really going to resonate with this. I think they already do. David says, I seriously need to have this. Jagdish says hello. And then Jen says magic sauce. David mentioned earlier, always got to have water when you've got Peter. And I said, yes, my fault. My bad. That's awesome. So how can we raise our own frequency and vibration?
It's a choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I give away a ton of free knowledge on my YouTube channel because I just want to and I can. And a couple of years ago, I did a video on unplugging. And this is very important because what keeps you stuck are the things that hide in plain sight. Okay. So I mentioned you walk into a restaurant or a train station or a bar or any public place these days. What is the one thing that you see that you haven't seen 10 years ago? TVs. They're everywhere. They hide in plain sight. They're constantly bombarding you with frequencies to keep you in your space. So I did a video on unplugging, and I challenge people to not read the news, not watch TV, leave their cell phone at home, get unplugged for 24 hours. I guarantee you 95% of the people couldn't do it. Why? Because these are the devices that are keeping us stuck. Now, of course, there are everyday devices that we need to exist and to move on. But if you can peel yourself away from this, okay, so for me, I don't read anything. I don't watch TV. I do watch Netflix, though. I love Netflix. I honestly don't know what's going on in the world. I'm very much like this. Everything that I have accomplished, created, and will accomplish and create is through my own innocence of keeping a channel purified to source. That's it. That is it. If people ask me, do you know who so-and-so is? I'm like, no, I don't have a clue. I don't know. I really don't.
I do the same thing.
It's not keeping my head in the sand, folks. It's keeping what I do pure. It's always about the purity. And as you start to vibrate higher, you become a little bit more pure. Now, don't get me wrong. I love tequila. It's not about being, like pure and what you take in your body, but it's always about keeping the channel open to your purest source of information. And in there is where you just start to vibrate. Things happen. People look at you differently because you're glowing, and the people, your vibe will attract your tribe. I struggled with that for a long time. I'm like, what? Right? It's truth. It's so true. If you're a negative, condescending type of person, you're going to attract that. Here's a challenge for you. When you get up in the morning, before you do anything, have a positive thought and watch how your reality that day mimics that positive thought. When you go to bed at night, have a positive thought. Watch how your dreams reflect that positive thought. Acts of kindness, getting involved, creating, helping people, pushing the envelope. Okay. And here, this is the one piece of golden advice. If everything else is blah, 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 know this. Do not be motivated or passionate about anything you do in life. be driven.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when you are driven, you are unstoppable. And the universe will provide everything you need. And if anything comes in your way, it gets taken out. And, you know, when you're manifesting, be driven to manifest. So.
And you mentioned helping people and having the drive. And I'll tell you guys, Peter definitely walks his talk, because I remember when I first started out, I was having this big talk on a telesummit. I was scared to death. It was my first one. I don't know why I reached out to Peter, but I did. And I had just kind of private messaged him, I believe. And so immediately he said, call me. And I was like, what? Huh? Some big guy wants me to call him? Because I was like, wow, I feel special. And so I called him. I'm at Harris Teeter, a grocery store here in town. And I'm calling him and I'm like, hi, Peter. And in my mind, I'm thinking, wow, he really wants to talk to me. But it was so sweet and such a humble soul. And so I've always kept in touch with Peter in here and there. And then, of course, I reach out to him after a couple of years again. And I'm like, hey, Peter, you want to be on my Facebook Live? I would really appreciate it. I want you to share your wealth of knowledge and everything you have with the world. And he's like, yeah. So this guy never says no. He is limitless. I love it.
Getting older, but still limitless.
So you have this unwavering, rock solid discipline to help others. What is that?
Again, you can't describe it, yeah. But when you create something, when you build something, when you do something that changes someone's life, even on a micro level, you get this wave of vibration back. It's a feeling. It's like, take the best mind-altering substance you've ever used in your life, whatever, and multiply it to infinity. And that feeling, that vibration, that shift in your consciousness drives you to want more of it. And the only way to get more of it is to repeat on a different level of what you just had done. And, today, I don't know, we have over 1,000 written video testimonials to the effects and the products of what this team has created over the last long time. And there's also a huge amount of emails and messages and all kinds of social media stuff that I get there. People don't want that out there, just because they feel afraid or whatever. That those are the things that drive me to push forward and, product and service creation, because I know at the end of the day, it's going to fuel somebody into the higher octaves. And, one of the funniest things when people come to me, and sometimes I really laugh hard, and they're like, this guy's crazy. They're like, look, I want to do stuff to help people, but I don't have any money. That is the one thing that just cracks me up, because you have so much power in here to shape your reality. Money is just an energetic flow. If you have the ability to receive, you can give. You have the ability to give, you can receive. That is a excuse for failure. It's a recipe for failure. Okay. You don't need money to help anybody. What you need is to be driven to help somebody. Okay. A master asked me, literally within 2 months of my wake up experience, Peter, what's the difference if you help one person or 1 million people? I couldn't answer it. I had no clue. It took me 5 years, 6 years. I don't even know. But when I went back, I said, I have the answer to your riddle. He's like, okay, what is it? I said, there is no difference. We're all one and the same.
Exactly.
All the same stuff. You act, you're driven, you're spreading more love and light, you're creating higher vibration. You are becoming unlimited. Now, it's a path that you choose to follow, okay? And you're gonna fall off that path consistently. I do all the time. I fall off it, but I get back on my horse and I continue forward. There is no end game. There is no golden goose. There's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's just a desire where you are so driven to see something through to completion. And that is as simple as letting the guy out in traffic in the morning, or, you know, creating something like the HFA Sirius, or a line of products, or a workshop, or just getting up and speaking in front of people to motivate them to whatever. There's no end game. It's always perpetual forward motion, nothing else.
I think that's what keeps people going. I don't feel like there is, you know, a lot of times I don't feel like I fall off the bandwagon that much, you know. And yeah, you're right. You do fall off, you know. Sometimes, you know, I will find myself getting angry at the guy who just cut me off or showed me the finger or whatever. And then, you know, but then other days I'll find myself, you know, just being like, okay, you're mad at me because I'm driving at the speed limit. I'm sorry. You know. And so, but is that really falling off the bandwagon? I mean, then I feel like, okay, am I putting guilt on myself? You know what I mean? Like, and then all these thoughts start to trigger, and I'm like, oh, now I started where I, you know, now I'm right at the beginning.
Right. But here's the simple solution of all of that. When I say fall off the bandwagon, look, I'm half Italian, half Swiss, so I believe me, I have a mouth. You just don't see it. And when you know, whatever it is, you know, cutting someone off, flicking them off, whatever, as long as you have acknowledgement of the experience that you just had, okay, and just know consciously that as you move forward on your path, that the next time the situation or something like that arises, you'll think differently. You have just vindicated yourself from it. Okay, that's all you have to do. We're in human form. We are spiritual creatures living the human experiences. We are here to make mistakes, and we're going to. It's inevitable, okay? But it's the path that keeps you moving forward always.
I agree. Unless you're living in the mountains, in the Himalayan mountains, we are human. And we are surrounded by the world. We are surrounded by people in our environment, and we are going to be triggered. And it's so nice to have your work and all the other healers and light workers and everybody that's doing this work to help humanity and help people get to where they want to be. It's like we're helping each other grow, you know, and come to that point of self-realization. I think it's really, really important, which is what all this is all about, right?
It's also about information sharing.
Yes.
Right? And I have always been a proponent of sharing as much information as I can by any and all means possible. And again, it goes back to that, like that clarion call. It doesn't matter how many people you reach. It's always about helping one. Yep. Even if that's yourself, it's always about helping one.
Yep. So Jen says, my challenge is within myself, my internal world towards the self. It's been taking some time. She says she'll be reaching out to you, but do you have any words for her?
Can you read that one more time, please?
Yeah, she says, my challenge is within myself, my internal world towards the self. It's been taking some time. So it's more like the challenge is within her, which I think a lot of people, the challenge is within them.
So I'm challenged constantly, always being challenged, whether it's from, you know, a business decision, if it's from someone, you know, I'm helping get through a tough time in their life. And some of the best advice doesn't come from your brain or your heart. Okay, when you think through something, you're applying logic to it, and that's not always in your best interest. When you are using your heart, you're evoking emotion, and that's not always in your best interest. Sometimes just going with your gut and that raw intuition that defies the logic, that defies the emotions, is the best way to see yourself, you know, through something.
Yeah. She says, like I'm loving and giving, but the reflection isn't given back.
Right, because you are shamed with the feeling of shame from receiving. So interesting enough, last year, I was thinking about putting a new energetic session together for manifestation. And I sent out an email to the tribe saying, hey, I need 5 beta testers. Come on in. We're gonna play with this. I can't tell you how many hundreds of emails that I received with people that had given all of themselves and received nothing back. And I was like, holy shit. Oops.
Right.
I was like, wow. And what that led into, you see, I was being led down these steps. This is how the universe works. And that ultimately became a trio of workshops on receiving. And in that trio of workshops, we broke down the barriers using water, using sacred geometry, using, hardcore energy work to allow that flow to come back to you, and to take all of the feelings of shame and guilt and whatever you have from, birth on that keeps that flow stuck, and we just pushed it out of the way. And so yeah, I get it. I get it, believe me.
Jamie says, hello, completion arrives at the beginning. It's that simple. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us, Peter? I know you showed us your new gadget.
I have a lot of toys to play with.
Let's show a couple if you have them while you're here.
I don't have anything readily available because I didn't know we were going to go that route on the show. But on the modern day on the moderndaymystic.com website, there's all the tools that are currently available up there. What you haven't seen is the forthcoming suite, the 6th generation suite of the software. I have been very secretive about this. I have been keeping it completely under wraps, but I did release a picture of what the entry portal is going to look like, and you can find that on my Facebook page. That is, you can just kind of feel the love and the vibration coming off of that. But just there's so many products that have been developed and pushed out into the world. In 2020, you haven't seen anything yet. Believe me when I tell you that. You thought this year was mind blowing, and last year, 2020 is going to rock everything.
I'm excited
for it. There are a plethora of products in testing in my head, and just again, you just open yourself up. You step outside your comfort zone. You allow yourself to be guided. You put your hands out and say, I surrender, take me and rebuild me in your image, whatever, however, whenever you want to do it. And for me, that's where I get my best ideas.
That's right. Today I was talking about decluttering the mind.
Sure.
And I'm like, that's what we all need to do, is declutter that mind of all the things that we have, all the beliefs, right? All those limiting beliefs and just all the things we've just cluttered, and all those thoughts and feelings and emotions, and just let it go and find that silence within. And then everything just opens up just so beautifully. So I want to thank you.
Thank you. Thank everybody.
And I want to thank all of you guys for joining us and sharing out this video. I do appreciate it. I think, Peter had some amazing information for us that we can take forward and open up to our, unlimited self. And so we can't wait to see your new products coming out. We'll definitely be keeping up with Modern Day Mystic. As you said, you could go to moderndaymystic.com, right, Peter? And you'll find all his stuff there. You can also connect with him. I did put the phone number if you do need to reach out to Peter about anything. And yeah, so thank you so much. And I want everyone to have a wonderful, beautiful day. And I will see you guys next week. Don't forget, we do have, I'll be on From Heartache to Joy tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, and that's 8 a.m. Pacific. So I will be on there. Come join me. Lots of fun healings, scans, and readings. So I will talk to you all soon. Namaste, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.